What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Frank Macaluso from Garageaholic, traditionally specializing in BMW engine swaps, but today we're going to offer a very special episode. We are going to be working on some body work on a 1991 Jeep Comanche. That's right. My brother William brought his Comanche over for some body work, and we're going to be doing a quick video on how we're going to be pulling out a dent with a dent puller. We're going to be doing some painting and clear coating. So we're going to be making this thing back to tip top. While we're on the subject of the Comanche, I too have a Comanche built by my brother Will. He's the one behind the camera, and guess what? He will be part of the video series, and you will find out that he looks just like me. We are going to be basically taking this guy, painting it a different color, not sure what color yet, and we're going to be turning it into a legend, like something like this. This truck has just about everything you would want in a pickup truck. It has front and rear lockers. It's got a 5 or 6 inch lift kit. It's got all factory upgraded mods, all very tasteful mods, steel bumpers, hidden winch. It has got everything that you'd want in a pickup truck, and this thing has done everything that you can think of. It's done tons of, in fact, let's zoom in a little bit here on this, and I want to show you all the things that this truck has done. There are these badges that you get when you achieve a certain level, and I've actually been on one of these. This one here called Crawl Daddy, that was in Roush Creek in PA. This thing was an amazingly difficult challenge, and this truck did it. It's really good truck because it's narrow, it's got the perfect height, and it's got a lot of suspension travel to go over really, really rough rocks. So this thing has almost everything you'd want, and I'm just really proud to be working on this thing. Now let's take a look at the body damage. Is the bulk of the damage right here. He backed up into something, and it is definitely bent starting right around here, and it goes in. It goes maybe about half an inch to 3/4 of an inch deep. We have to remove the third brake light in order to get to this. We have to remove this trim, and we are going to literally use a stunt dent puller. There's some work that needs to be done up on the roof as well, as you can see here, and we need to make sure that this is completely flat and smooth. And then we're going to repaint this thing the same white color that it was, and we're going to do a clear coat on top of that as well. So let's start disassembling the light and the trim to expose this area, start shaving off all the paint, and let's start welding some studs and getting this thing pulled. Now, along with the roof, we got a little bit of along with the roof, we now have some damage on the hood that we have to assess concurrently. Here is the issue. Now, a little funny story about how this guy happened. My brother, Will, was drilling from underneath, and he poked through the hole a little bit too soon, and the drill bit went pop right through the bottom of the hood, and it was a little bit of how's your father, So he ended up shaving this down and gotten it nice and smooth, but it does require a repaint. So this and that both need to be worked. Now let's take this puppy and put it in the garage, and let's take the coveted E30 N54 wagon and bring it on out. Excuse me, we're not talking about the E31 S85 V10 swap right now. We're talking about your Jeep Comanche, which is now in the garage. We're gonna be doing some major work to it. Tell us a little bit about what we gotta do next.
So what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna remove the window trim. We're gonna have to take the third brake light off. I'm Will, by the way. How you doing? I'm Frank's little bro. And then we're gonna have to scrape off some of the paint there so we can get a nice tack weld for the slide hammer and pull that bad boy right out to be nice and flush.
Just to let you know, every once in a while, Will likes to just like go into a country twang for no good reason. So that's something we're just gonna all need to deal with, and just
I don't know what
we just need
about.
to.
I drive pickup truck.
He does. So now he's a cowboy. Every once in a while, he wears cowboy boots. But just tell him his accent is really, really lame. All right, so now everything's basically situated. We're gonna start attacking this thing head on. Now what we have here is a G90E. It's a spot welder. They make all different types of spot welders, but this one I liked in particular because it had a lot of flexibility. And the ground wire needs to be connected, just like a regular welder needs to be connected to metal. This needs to be connected to metal as well. And this here is a lot different than your traditional pistol gun with the studs. This actually welds directly to the body, and the second that you make your weld, you start pulling out. And when you're done, when you're done, you twist the weld off and you weld again by pressing the trigger, and you do it again.
So there's no pins on this thing, huh?
No pins. You don't need to use a gun, get a pin, and then use a slide hammer on top of that with the cam mechanism and hold the cam mechanism as you're... Hold on for a second. Hi, Jess. Okay, I'll be right there.
The groceries are here.
Okay, so now here we are. We need to pull this dent out using this guy that I explained earlier. I did explain it, right? You guys got it, right? Kind of basically put it on, dent, pull.
Let me see the tip of that bad boy.
There you go. See, it's been used, right? There's three tips on here, so you can basically remove this thing, rotate it, and use a different tip. And we got all different types of tips here. We have a bunch of
good to the tip.
Bunch of these new guys, so we can always replace new tips. We also have these types of things that you can put on and then pull it out that way, and we might actually do these too. So there's all
and they're all reusable, right?
Types of things.
They're all reusable up to a point?
They're called consumables. That means that they are used and they do wear out, which means that they need to be replaced. So you do need to be careful not to do it just for fun, that you're actually using them, because the tips do wear out, and when they do, they're not really nearly as effective. So what we need to do is clean the affected area. We need to take and remove all the paint from the area, and then we gotta start pulling our studs.
There it is. I see that. Trying to find his safety glasses right now. All of this space. Found them?
Found them.
There they are. Now he's going to have to put the ground on so you can complete the circuit and weld the stud on. It's setting up. Just experimenting. Ground on. Due to the heaviness of the wire, we had to zip tie it a little bit because the small little spot weld of the ground did not hold it on very well. And he's going to try to do it in the deepest part of the... Yep, and it broke off.
Okay, take two. Bit too complex for a single point. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up using a whole bunch of these guys. And we're going to be putting them all along this area, this ridge, and then we're going to uniformly pull with this slide hammer, and that's going to help get this dent out to a better point where we can then go back to the single point. in that red drawer right there, can you get my finishing hammer for bodywork? No, not that drawer. No, not that drawer. Come on, how come you don't know the red drawer that I'm talking about? It's this drawer right here. No, not that one, not that one. There it is.
Ah, there it is, finishing hammer.
Nice. All right, little Mac is going to take a look at this and see how he does it. Let me see how that is. That's good. Good.
It's a cool little tool. I recommend you all get it.
Y'all.
Fuck y'all. Sorry.
No cursing.
I know.
I don't curse on my channel. I don't curse on my YouTube channel. My followers are clean.
This Comanche's a curse.
Nice. It's looking good. Nope. Yep. Stay in a nice line. You got to make a nice line with it. So you're going into my old line here, right here. You want to stay above that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let's pull out what we got now.
Pull out these four. So show me how to do it.
Gotta take this little bar.
It's a rod.
Rod and bar. Aren't they interchangeable? There's a little hook rooski here.
Gentle with, yep, gentle. Nice. Looking good.
Take the bar off and bend them off.
Just wiggle them off.
It's a cool little tool.
All right, Will is still working. We did a lot of iterations on this and it is looking better. We still got to worry about this hole here, but he is working now on the bottom side of the box, which is still curved inward. We got to get that thing out and that. So you can't get everything to look good until everything at least looks decent. So if you have have a bow in an area, certain other parts won't look good because the metal kind of stretches and bows. You can't just have one part look good and not all of it. So we're gonna basically kind of get this piece back out with the slide hammer here, and that'll really help to straighten out most of everything else. So let's take a look and see how this works. Go ahead, pull it on. All right, looking better. Still got some sections here. We got to take this ground lug and move it over to the other side. So let's do that. What I've got here is guide coat. This is a spray-on guide coat. And I've got a 400 grit block sand. What we're gonna do is we're gonna test to see and grade ourselves as to how we did on the metalwork before we start adding body filler. All you wanna do is just add the guide coat like this, light sprays.
It's essentially black spray paint that's gonna sand off and it'll let you know your highs and your lows of the metal.
That's basically it. So we gotta let it dry. And then after we let it dry, we just kinda go through it with what pressure. We know is flat. And it's going to sand off all the high spots, and all the low spots are going to remain black. And those are the locations that you need to focus on. Now, I don't know if we're going to end up doing any more metal pulling because we're just never going to get it perfect. So we're going to end up making up for those imperfections with body filler. I just need to know if those imperfections are big enough and deep enough where we do need to pull just a little bit more out. Because you don't want to have too much body filler, or else the coefficient of thermal expansion between the body filler and the metal is going to be so different that when on really hot days or really cold days, one's going to expand a lot more than the other, and then you're going to have cracking.
There you have it.
Well, obviously the paint is the high spot here. So this is all pretty low. We do have a couple of peaks here. We can probably sand down. Yeah, so you can see where we need to focus on, right? I mean, there's a couple of spots here. Although this is all white paint, And this is metal for sure. So we can definitely take the grinder and grind this stuff down, this stuff here. Although this is right on the character line. So I think that this might stay. But I think that this all being body filler will be just fine. So I think it's probably, after we grind a little bit of this down, I think we're in good shape to body filler. You can see here that there's a couple of the pins that we used before, and a couple of those pins pulled a little bit more than others, and you can see that's why it's showing the metal there. So, all right, so what are we doing now, Will?
We're going to have to wet sand everything around the vicinity of where the dent is going to be repaired so we can get a nice smooth surface for the paint to stick to and the body filler to stick to.
That's right. We got to make sure that we go outside of the actual real estate of where the repair will be made so that when we smooth things out with the body filler, it's going to be a nice smooth transition from the paint to the body filler, and you won't even know that it was even here. We got about 3 or 4 coats of this total to do onto the back of the truck before we can really start, laying down the paint. All right, so we got to take this thing and move it out into the sun because that is where we are going to end up drying the body filler. It's a lot easier to dry the body filler with the UV light than it is in this garage. And I need a little bit of advice from my buddy Ryan, and I need to talk about how to blend the paint because we don't have enough paint to repaint the entire roof and the entire hood. So we're gonna end up blending the paint to a point where we just use just a little bit of paint and we feather it out. I just don't have enough paint to repaint it, and I don't think that it's necessary. I think you're right.
No, yeah, you don't want to paint the whole thing. There's no reason for that.
Cool.
And the thing is if say you had to buy new paint for that spot repair, well, the new paint's not going to be the same as the paint it was when you painted the.
And so I got a lot of good pointers from Ryan on that. So let's scuff all the surfaces with 600 grit outside. Let's get both panels ready, and we'll continue to chip away at the bodywork.
So you can see here, while using the guide code, you can see that it's still dark in this area. So therefore, it's a low spot when you sand over this large surface area that you know you need more body filler there.
And this hump is a little tricky too, huh? This curve is a little tricky.
It's pretty tricky.
You can see there's a lot of low spots there. We really got to do some more sanding, huh?
More sanding, more body filler.
What if you sand like this, like that, instead of side to side?
Well, based on the way this line is, you got a little curve here, or a flat portion there, a very small angle.
There's like a character line right there.
This is actually flat, believe it or not. So if you use this and keep going, you can get a nice flat sanding line. And then you go down a little bit.
And you get that bottom piece. Nice.
And then back up. And you always want to go on an angle. Never go straight for that. You got to go a little bit that way, and a little bit that way.
Right, the crosshairs, yeah.
When I close my eyes and I just rub, I don't feel anything.
Oh, you're talking about the body work. Okay, got it. You gotta, when you close your eyes and just rub the body, you can really feel everything. Oh. There we go. All right.
No, if you do that,
actually, this is really nice. I mean, there's a tiny little undulation, but I don't know. I don't think you're ever going to get that out because this actually moves when you push down on it. I don't think you're ever going to get that out.
And when it's stationary,
this feels nice.
And you're just looking at it's smooth.
Wow, this feels really. Well, we'll see what it looks like with primer on. When we spray the primer on this thing, we'll see exactly how it looks with a uniform color because it's kind of hard to see it. I mean, when I feel it though, man, it feels good.
Are we going to guide coat and sand the primer?
No, the primer is just primer, and then
feel this for days. Feel it up all
Feel that
day
body.
long.
Feel that body.
Giggity, giggity.
All right, now that we're all set, basically everything has been wet sanded down to 600 grit, we are ready to start laying over our entire drop cloth onto the truck, cut out the places that we need to focus on, which is basically the hood and the roof, and we're gonna start laying down a couple of coats of 1-to-1 epoxy primer. This stuff is going to basically be blended out, and it's gonna be a nice smooth finish, at which point we're gonna be laying our white paint. We'll show you that when we get to it. For now, we're gonna be taking and draping this entire cover over, cutting it out, and taping the places that we don't want any paint to go, which is basically the entire truck. Okay, we got a little epoxy primer from Eastwood. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, so basically it's 2 gallons of full paintable primer. We are mixing it right now.
I feel like a witch carrying my cauldron.
We're gonna paint your body work. Yeah. I think we could have probably prepared that joke better, but that was not bad. Not bad. We could have done better. It was okay. It was all right. All right, so we're just mixing this up. We're gonna put a little bit of wax and grease remover on the spots that we need to prime and attack cloth, and then we're just gonna spray a couple light coats on it and then continue to feather it out and just see how our body work looks, basically. You know, I mean, we got a little bit more body work to do. We got a couple scratches in there. You gotta get those scratches out. And then, yeah, a couple large gouges that are in there. We gotta kind of put a little filler on and sand it down. But other than that, I know it doesn't look good. I know that right there doesn't look good, but it feels good. Oh, you gotta get your hands on that thing. You gotta get your hands on it. So while this kind of works to cure a little bit, we're gonna do a little tiny bit more body work, and then this thing will be ready to spray.
Similar. Frank likes to hum when he paints.
The Macklemore.
It helps him focus.
It's that Macklemore song.
So again, yeah, we got all the plastic wrap good to go, which is GTG. Ready to lay some footballs on here. Hopefully we don't get any overspraying. We did a good job taping. We also have an exposed hood.
Here we go.
And here he goes.
It's a really light coat.
We got the Macaluso dad in house. Here he is. He came to kind of watch us do the color coat here.
That's
then
my
he's going to
dad.
kind of skedaddle on his way after he does the color. But yeah, it's good to have him here. Say hi.
Hi.
There he is.
So now what we gotta do is we gotta lay our first coat of paint down. It's a 1-to-1 mix between the paint and the reducer. We mixed it up. All we gotta do is just lay 3 coats of paint on, and every time we lay a coat, we're gonna fan it out a little bit more, until the paint blends in with the 600 grit sanded hood that we had already prepped. All right, the paint is complete. Really, really nice, really slick looking. I'm pretty happy with the results. It's really kind of hard to see, you know, what this thing looks like at this point in time because it's all white. It's hard to see. But we did blend the paint in like right around there up until that point. And even on the hood, you can see, well, you really can't see, and that's the whole point. That little spot right there, all been blended in. And now we have basically 600 grit sanded clear coat there, all paint here. And we're gonna clear coat the entire hood, and we're gonna clear coat the entire roof. All right, so we got a 4-to-1 clear coat here that I'm mixing up really nice and good. And we're gonna lay 2 coats of clear. The first coat is going to be really light. It's gonna be your sticky tacky coat. And then we're gonna wait about 5 to 10 minutes for flash time, and then we're gonna lay on the serious coat. That's gonna be the one that we really care about, because that's gonna be the one that shines and glosses. And if we're good, we don't have to do any post-paint prep. After we're done with that second coat, we're just gonna let the car sit overnight and hope that no bugs fly into the paint. Let's take a look at this clear coat. It's the next morning now. Let's see how everything turned out. From this angle, it doesn't look so bad, right? Huh?
Don't look bad at all. Don't look bad at all.
I mean, there's nubs. You can see the nubs. There's nubs there.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It looks good.
It's a little nubby. It's a little nubby.
For a garage,
a little rough right here. A little rough right there.
You didn't do over here, did you? You just did over there. Oh, you ascended that.
Huh.
Looks good. I was gonna do that. I like it. I did. I see what you did.
Why don't you feel it? Why don't you feel it for a second?
My coffee. All right. Wow, it looks so good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Literally, it's fixed. It's fixed. Now, next time I back up into a garage, I'll know what to look for.
Nobody knows that you backed into a garage.
I said it.
They thought that you might have like done some cool off-roading trick or something. That's how you.
Something about like a fresh paint job just always looks so good.
I know. Very nice. Let's see. How does it feel? Feel it with your hand.
Hard work. No, you use the back of your hand.
Oh, the back. Oh, sorry. The back. I don't want the oils from my hand getting on it. Oh, you got some stuff here in the crevasse of the. Yeah, get that off. There you go. That's what dreams are made of right there.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
There we go.
Real
Look at that, huh? That's a real paint and clear coat job. Nice. Now look. So this here is the polished. I mean, it's smooth. It's smoother than the baby's. I have a baby, guys. Just so you guys know, I have like a 9-month baby, and this is smoother than his bottom. It is smoother. And this right here, 2000 grit. 2000 grit sand, polish. 2000 grit sand, polish. Nice. Good job, buddy. Good job. Hey, do you want to do the other side of the hood, or do you want me to do it?
No,
it's your choice. You want to do it now? Oh, now look at him. He's all like, into it now. He's like, I want to do it now. He was so nervous about polishing. Now he's like, now I want to do it. All right, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. All right, let me get you set up here. Let's do the other side of this hood, and then we'll come back to you guys soon and let you know how everything turns out. All right, it is the next morning now, and we are getting ready to take a look and see how the paint looks in the sun. And let's just see what this thing can do. I mean, I don't really have too much of a, I don't think that this thing is capable of ever. Not bad. Pretty reflective, huh? Looks good. You can kind of see that angle. You can see the reflection there. Pretty good. I'm impressed. I'm happy. All right. No. Go right there. Go right there. Ah, look at that, huh? Guys, that just about does it for us today in the rehabilitation and repainting of the hood and the roof due to issues that were found during rock climbing and other shenanigans. Guys, again, my name is Frank Macaluso, and here is Will Macaluso. And if you liked the content of this video, if you liked what we were doing, if you liked two guys actually working on something instead of just boring old me working on it, let me know. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Other than that, thanks a lot for joining us in our shenanigans, and I'm hoping to turn my Comanche into this Comanche. Guys, take it easy. I'm out of here. Later.